So I really appreciate it. I know it seemed like it was going to be a little lopsided at the beginning, but Rob won by fractions of points. He did not win. It was not a blowout. It looked like it was heading that way. Because I'm just going back and looking at these things. Damn, Humphrey Bogart was fantastic, Derek. I mean, I almost went with Humphrey Bogart, but I keep seeing him as an urban guy. Even when in Sierra Madre, I always felt like he was a guy that was camping in the woods that he couldn't wait to get back to.
He's a fellow American who's down on his luck.
Yeah.
Well, and I dug the fact that even though in different eras, Derek and I kind of we set ourselves boundaries.
Oh yeah.
Where Derek's stuck in that genre, where I was sticking to a time period, and I thought that worked out really well.
Oh, and again, he had like the Katharine Hepburn. Again, that was by fractions of a point because in my mind, I can see Lena Headey doing this tomorrow. I mean, I can see her shaving her head.
Yeah.
She did it in Game of Thrones, or thereabouts. And I can. It's just that Katharine Hepburn. I just see her as just a little too hoity-toity. But she is amazing, so she could do it.
I think it wasn't. Didn't she do with Bogey? Was it her that was in The African Queen?
Yes, she's in The African Queen.
So, I mean, if you look at her character development in that film, I mean, I totally saw where he was coming from in that. How she started as the prim and pris mamacita, that by the end of it, she had become a little bit more rough and rugged and really kind of embraced that. And I totally see where he's coming from on that.
Yeah, no, it was really close. Now, this next one, Nux, was not close. That one, hey, so far everybody misses one, and the Mickey Rooney one, I just couldn't get past it.
It's just that him in Breakfast at Tiffany's just emblazes in my brain.
It's terrible. It's it's horrible. But but
it's a time capsule at the same time. I mean,
I grew up watching Babes in Arms and a couple of the Andy Hardy movies and the Human Comedy. So I knew him as that gosh gee whiz guy, and then in later years it was hard to gel with. Once I started knowing behind the scenes stories and a lot of the bragging he would do, that it was like, oh, I don't think he was that nice.
No,
but that's why this one was so tough. That was the toughest one for me. I mean, I went back and forth. Actually, my first pick for Max was actually going to be Christian Bale.
Oh, see, now that would have been a good one.
I kept going back to Christian Bale's a little too squeaky clean.
Well, you have not seen some Christian Bale. Have you ever seen The Mechanic?
Yeah, but I kept going back to the Bruce Wayne, the American Psycho, and then I hit Hunnam, and I was like,
not the Terminator.
See,
good for you.
Yes.
Hey, get these fucking lights out of my eyes. I figured, but that's the same problem. Your problem with Christian Bale is the same problem I have with Humphrey Bogart. I just can't get him out of a suit. Because even like I said, even in Sierra Madre, he kind of looks like a guy who normally wears a suit who's out camping. Even though he's got the scraggly and he goes crazy, he does a great job in it. It's just that Humphrey Bogart's Humphrey Bogart, and he's got a hat, a fedora, he smokes a cigar, and he's got a suit. So I can see where the Christian Bale thing would come through. And Mark Boone Jr., I mean, that was, again, he's always like, I always see him as a lesser role. I
think it was the hair.
It's the beard. It looks like it hasn't been cleaned.
Yeah, well, I think it was the hair that kept selling it because his hair is always out to here, and Immortan Joe's hair was just everywhere. Hey, Derek, let me ask you: if we had gone to the tie break, what would you have gone with for the double feature?
Lawrence of Arabia.
Okay,
I would have gone. It would have been a long haul, but I was going to go Dune.
No, Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah, you're never going to beat Lawrence of Arabia.
No.
I mean, I might as well have gone Sahara at that point.
I was just thinking desert, but also long stretches without talking.
Well, mostly I don't like the original Dune. I'm hoping the new Dune is better. So, yeah, Dune was not. That's a nostalgic pick that probably would have.
Yeah.
I bet the audience would have liked it because it's very much more in the zeitgeist.
That documentary, that Jodorowsky's Dune documentary, if they had actually pulled that off, I was just like,
I've only seen designs. I haven't watched the documentary yet.
The doc is tough to get through. It's a lot longer than it feels a lot longer than it is. But some of the, as they tell that story and just how wheels off that entire process was, I'm like you, Craig. Like I'm hopeful for the new version. It's just such a tough story to translate. It just is. There's so much going on in Herbert's novel that
it's already a 2-movie thing, right? They definitely are going to do 2
They're
movies.
going to have to. They're going to have to.
It should have been a Netflix thing. They should have thrown.
No, there's a prequel series going to be on HBO Max.
Yeah,
Well, that's like what I said with Ready Player One. Ready Player One should have been a Starz series. That movie made me so angry because there's so much that Spielberg either couldn't or wouldn't have done in that would have made the movie 20 times better. But you can't do that book in one film. You just can't.
And it's like the tower, the Dark Tower. They
I have not even touched that film. I'm afraid of it.
They butchered that one. I mean, Idris was great in it because Idris is great in everything.
Well, when Idris can't bring me to a film, I know it's bad.
Yeah.
Because I will take to my grave that Idris Elba plays one of the greatest television villains in the history of ever. Stringer Bell and The Wire is just, that series and him in that series. And I accuse people of communism when they say they haven't seen an episode of The Wire because it's just that good.
Well, then you have to ask ask our buddy Devin Pike. When he showed up, did they have to digitize his butthole or not in cast? Because Devin is convinced there is a butthole cut out there that someone had to that they had to digitally remove the butthole.
Okay, now you've taken away my will to live. This has lifted me up, and then it's just I'm back down.
All right. Well, on that, I will let you guys go. You guys are amazing. I look forward to both your episodes, which I will start editing. I'm starting yours tomorrow, Rob. I got to start editing that tomorrow. And, of course, I'll start yours next Wednesday. But I'm looking forward to listening to them again.
Oh, it was so much fun. I can't wait to hear it on Saturday.
But
great. Thank you.
You guys are great. I appreciate it. And
Derek, an absolute honor. Thank you for hanging out, man.
Great to hang out with you guys. Thank you.
All right, guys. Thanks.